in 5, 4, 3.
Another 5-minute mystery.
Well, Inspector, how are things progressing on the stats case? The missing woman been located yet?
No, I'm afraid not, O'Malley. Not a sign since she disappeared last Tuesday night.
How's the husband taking it?
As well as can be expected. He's got several thousand set up for a ransom, just in case.
Sound. Phone rings.
I'll get it.
Sound. Phone pickup.
Inspector Fitzmaurice speaking.
Inspector, this is Howard Stats. Can you come over right away? It's very important.
What is it?
A big box just arrived at my house, not over 15 minutes ago. It's supposed to be some fishing tackle I had stored up for the winter.
Well, what about it?
Inspector, it's not the fishing tackle. It's too heavy. I haven't got the nerve to open it. I think it might be a body.
Here, let's turn this end of the box up.
Sound. Heavy. Box moved.
The Caldwell Storage Company, Midville, Pennsylvania. First class special.
I didn't want to open it, Inspector, until you arrived.
How long ago did you say this arrived?
About 6. My sister Abby received it.
I didn't think of it being anything but Howard's fishing equipment until the man who brought it in said something about its being mighty heavy.
I hope I'm wrong, Inspector, but something about it told me to expect the worst.
We'll soon find out.
Sound. Tape ripped.
Now pull up these flaps. Holy...
It's Claire!
I knew it! I knew those devils would try something like this.
Oh, I can't bear it. I can't bear it.
Mr. Stats, were you expecting this box from the storage company?
Yes, I was. I usually store my fishing equipment for the winter. I wrote them a few days ago.
Don't you see, Inspector? Whoever killed Claire must have known about Howard's expecting this package. They just hoped he'd put it away in the basement, maybe, and not even think.
Yes, I'm afraid it wouldn't have looked so good for you, Mr. Stats.
How long do you think she was dead, Inspector?
The coroner will have to set that. But I'm afraid she didn't have a chance.
You mean she's been dead since Tuesday? Since the day she disappeared?
That's the way it looks to me.
But if anyone wanted her money, they wouldn't have to kill her. Why didn't they just ask for a ransom?
Maybe this party was the one party that couldn't get a ransom.
What do you mean by that, Inspector? I'd have paid anything to get Claire back safely. Anything!
But you couldn't pay yourself any ransom, Mr. Stats. Nor could your sister, for that matter.
What are you driving at?
Just this, Mr. Stats. I'm holding you and your sister for the murder of your wife.
Why did the inspector arrest these two for the murder of Mrs. Stats? Do you know the clue? We'll hear it in a minute, but first, here's a word from Armor Meats.
Meals seem to take care of themselves when you have Armor's treat in the house. It's hasty, tasty, thrifty, ready to serve, hot or cold baked, or sliced right from the tin. Yes, treats so deliciously different, its processing secret is patented. Made of choice pork shoulder meat, tender ham, skillfully blended, not too bland, not too spicy, just the right flavor and zest. A builder-upper too. Rich in vitamin B12, so essential for normal growth, nerves, and appetite. And treats amazingly economical. A big meal for 4 in every tin. Try it today. See why so many women throughout America are switching to treat.
And now back to Murdered Wife in a Box.
This is outrageous. You can't prove a thing.
Oh, can't I? You did a nice job of making this box look like a first-class special parcel. But that package never went through the mail. It was here in the house all the time, waiting for you two to spring it.
I've never heard anything so outrageous.
It may interest you two to know that the United States Post Office won't accept any package weighing over 70 pounds. And it's pretty obvious any box containing a human body tips the scales way over that.
Why didn't you think of that?
Why did you?
Can it, you two? Or I'll put you both in the same cell.
Welcome to the W.W.O.W. Radio Mystery Show. We'll begin with our feature production in a moment. But first...
Jell-O again, everyone. Want a taste delight you haven't known since you said goodbye to fresh strawberries last summer? Take a spoonful of the new extra rich strawberry Jell-O. Let it melt on your tongue. Why, there's the very soul of fresh strawberries. Juicy, fragrant, keen. No gelatin dessert you've tasted before gave you more than a hint of this new deep flavor. This is true for all of Jell-O's delicious fruit flavors, because no other gelatin dessert has the benefit of Jell-O's new secret process, a process which blends extra rich fruit flavor into the tiny crystals. And none of Jell-O's fruity goodness floats off in steam. Jell-O dissolves quickly, completely, in water only a little hotter than lukewarm. Every box of genuine Jell-O gives you more of what you want, extra rich flavor. So get the real thing, genuine Jell-O. And don't forget to try all of the wonderful Jell-O flavors.
And now, sponsored by Jell-O, the W.W.O.W. Radio Mystery Show presents... Agatha Christie's Hercule Poirot. From the thrill-packed pages of Agatha Christie's unforgettable stories of corpses, clues, and crime, W.W.O.W. now brings you, complete with bowler hats and brave mustache, your favorite detective, Hercule Poirot, starring Alan Dolderer in The Case of the Careless Victim. Before meeting Hercule Poirot in his first American adventure, it seems only fitting for the millions of faithful readers who have followed the little Belgian detective's career in book form to meet the famous lady who created this famous character. So it is our privilege to present a message from Agatha Christie, introducing Hercule Poirot from London, England. The next voice you hear will be Miss Agatha Christie's. Go ahead, London.
I feel that this is an occasion that would have appealed to Hercule Poirot. He would have done justice to the inauguration of this radio program, and he might even have made it seem something of an international event. However, as he is heavily engaged on an investigation, about which you will hear in due course, I must, as one of his oldest friends, deputize for him. The great man has his little foibles, but really, I have the greatest affection for him. And it is a source of continuing satisfaction to me that there has been such a generous response to his appearance on my books. And I hope that his new career on the radio will make many new friends for him among a wider public.
Thank you, Miss Agatha Christie. And now, W.W.O.W. presents Hercule Poirot in his first American adventure, The Case of the Careless Victim.
Sound. Door opens, closes.
Mademoiselle,
Huh?
this is a cozy room apartment renting agency?
Well, we got something to rent, yeah.
I have the desire to rent an apartment.
Who hasn't?
Please, mademoiselle, do not jest. Allons, I have with me a brief dossier of my requirements. Please to read it.
Well, all right. Gentleman desires a bright sun-shining apartment of a reasonable quietness near the heart of the city. should be furnished with the utmost charm, French provincial if possible. Price is of no consequence as long as it is very reasonable. Please communicate with me at the Hotel Windsor, Hercules P-O-I-R-O-T, Poirot.
No, mademoiselle. The name is Poirot. Hercule Poirot.
Well, I wish you luck, Mr. Poirot.
Finding an apartment, mademoiselle, is not a matter of luck. It is a matter of employing the little gray cells. If you can find an apartment for me, please do me the kindness to inform me.
Sure, if you'll do something for me.
And what is that?
If you can find an apartment for me, please do me the kindness to inform me.
Sound, voices conversing in a crowd.
Going up, floor please.
Number 5.
Sound, elevator door closes, elevator motor.
You are here, new here, no?
Oh, yes, sir. Only came on yesterday. You're Mr. Poirot, aren't you?
Poirot.
Well, Poirot, whatever. One of the boys pointed you out.
Sound, elevator stops.
Here you are, sir, 5th floor.
Sound, elevator door opens and closes.
1,000 apologies, madame.
Oh, not at all. It was entirely my fault.
Madame appears troubled. Perhaps I may be of some slight assistance?
No, well, if you're sure you don't mind.
But of course not.
You see, it's my door. It won't open.
Ah, and where is this obstinate door? Huh?
It's right down the corridor, room 515.
If I may have the key.
But that's just it. The door isn't locked. I left it open only 10 minutes ago.
Indeed. Madame is very trusting, eh?
Here it is.
Sound, door rattling.
You see, it's stuck. It won't budge.
It is not precisely stuck, madame. It gives a trifle. This door is barricaded.
Oh, my goodness.
Voila, she moves, eh?
Oh, thanks a million. Now, what do you suppose?
Now, wait, mademoiselle. Madame, perhaps it is better if I look first. Alas, it is as I have feared.
What is it?
You do not know? Look.
Oh, it's a man. Is he?
Oui, madame. He has been strangled. This is murder. Zut, alors, I must compliment you, madame. Your color, it is excellent. And you do not even commence to faint. For one who is not...
I don't fall apart in a crisis, if that's what you mean. And furthermore, I'm not madam. I'm mademoiselle. By choice. Miss Abigail Fletcher.
Sound, phone pick up. Dialing under following.
And now, if you'll get that corpse out of here, I'd like to sit down.
That I regret I cannot do, mademoiselle. The body must not be touched before the police arrive.
Police?
Well, yes, of course, the police. I am calling them now. Hello? Inspector Stevens, it is I, Hercule Poirot. Alas, no, I have not yet found the apartment. But I have found something of perhaps more interest. A corpse. Right here in my hotel, room number...
515.
Number 5... Mademoiselle, what are you doing with the body?
Nothing. I was just trying to see his face.
You will have that opportunity later. Pardon, Inspector. We are room 515. Bien, we shall expect you immediately.
Sound, phone hang up.
Eh bien, Miss Fletcher, now that you have observed the face of this unfortunate one, perhaps you will be good enough to tell me who he is?
I certainly will not. Who do you think you are?
Mademoiselle, permit me to present myself. I am Hercule Poirot, formerly chief of the Belgian Sûreté.
Yeah, well, that's what you say. Now look, Mr. Poirot, I've read plenty of detective stories, and none of them had a detective that looked anything like you. I'll wait for the police and let them ask the questions.
As you desire, mademoiselle. I merely wish to point out one thing. It is you the police will question first.
Me?
But of course, you are the most likely suspect, no?
Well, all right. What do you want to know?
First, what are you doing here in this hotel?
Why, I've lived here for 10 solid years, ever since I left Bangor, Maine.
And what do you do? What is your occupation?
Why, I don't have any occupation. I've got a little income, and I like it here in New York. And the last few years, I've been doing war work, Red Cross, and things like that.
You seem a trifle vague, mademoiselle. Now, about this man, who is he?
I don't know. I never saw him before in my life.
Mademoiselle, I advise you to consider your answers with care. Do not forget, a man lies dead in this room.
I can't help that. I don't know who he is or how he got here. I told you I was out of the room for 10 minutes.
That may be, Miss Fletcher, but it does not help you. This man has been dead for at least 1 hour.
How do you know?
If you will touch the body, you will observe it is already beginning to cool. Therefore, mademoiselle, if you left this room only 10 minutes ago, your situation is indeed grave, for this man was already dead.
Oh, but I couldn't have done it.
So, and why not?
Because his body was lying right across the doorway. You know perfectly well I couldn't get out through this doorway and still leave a body wedged against it. Belgian surety, indeed.
Very good, mademoiselle. But you could have murdered him in here, made your departure by way of this fire escape through the room up ahead, and come down inside the building to this corridor where you so innocently made my acquaintance. You see, there is evidence that the fire escape has been but recently used. Now it is not so amusing, huh?
Well, I don't care. I had nothing to do with this. I know you detectives. You're out to get a suspect. And just because a man was murdered in my room...
Gently, mademoiselle. All is not lost. Fortunately, you deal with Hercule Poirot, who goes one step beyond the obvious. You see, this poor man was not murdered in your room. He was killed in the room overhead.
But why? Why kill him upstairs and leave him on my doorstep?
That, mademoiselle, we shall discover in due course.
Sound. Door closes. Key in lock.
All right, Mr. Poirot. Now that you've got the corpse safely locked in my room and us outside, what am I supposed to do? Sleep on the fire escape?
I do not think that would be necessary, mademoiselle. You are coming with me to the lobby where we shall find for my friend Inspector Stevens. He will see that you are comfortably sheltered for the night.
Oh. Well, tell me, Mr. Poirot, how'd you figure out that the murder took place upstairs?
Is it not apparent, Miss Fletcher? Please to squeeze the bell for the elevator. I look out of your window and observe the fire escapes. And what do I find? Everywhere the dust reposes peacefully.
Well, naturally. The help is too busy to polish fire escapes.
Ah, mademoiselle, but on one stairway, the one leading up from your window, all is disarranged. There is a broad, clear path through the dust, and it is precisely the width of a human body. And since the path extends only to the floor above, it is obvious the body has been dragged down from room 615. Also, on the garments of the dead man, the trousers, the left elbow, and across the shoulders, there are unmistakable traces of rust.
Sound. Elevator arriving. Door opens.
Ah, voilà, the elevator.
Going down?
Monsieur, would you be so good as to explain why you were so long in arriving?
No, it's this old car. Every once in a while, it goes on the fritz.
Comment? On the fritz?
Out of order.
Yeah, it got stuck on the ninth.
You have been on the 9th floor all this time?
Yeah, that's right.
That is difficult to believe.
Why?
Because the indicator has been pointing to the basement.
Ah, that indicator. As soon as anything goes wrong, it flops.
I am not so sure that is true of the indicator, but unquestionably, monsieur, it is true of the too clever murder. As soon as anything goes wrong, it flops.
Sound. People chatting in background.
Eh bien, Inspector Stevens, there's the situation. An unknown man strangled to death in one room and dragged down the fire escape to another.
Poirot, if this body is the person I think it is, the commissioner will have my head.
Huh? Mon ami, forgive me, you seem agitated.
And we were warned, too. I assigned my best man to guard him. Smartest cop on my force, Sam Tremble. Good Lord, Poirot, there'll be an international scandal.
Gently, mon ami, you go too fast, even for Hercule Poirot. Who is this magnificent figure of international importance?
Parrish, Jonathan Parrish.
Parrish? Ah, oui, the name rings a bell. He is the big currency expert, huh?
Yeah, that's right. He's on his way to Europe to set up the new paper currency for the liberated countries. Checked in at the Windsor today. He was supposed to pick up some papers, dyes, and inks, and then hop a bomber tonight.
Sound. Elevator door opens.
5th floor, please.
Sound. Elevator door closes. Elevator motor hums.
An enormous undertaking, and one of great importance.
And I was responsible for his safety. He's supposed to be an eccentric sort of guy. No photographs, no publicity. Tremble was the only man on the force who knew him at all, and Tremble failed. You see what this means, Poirot?
I see only this, my friend. We have arrived at the first step to the solution of this distressing murder. For now, we know the motive.
Sound. Elevator stops. Door opens.
This way, Inspector.
Sound. Elevator door closes.
This is the room. Mademoiselle Fletcher, your key?
Here you are.
I'll never live this down.
Sound. Key in lock. Door opens.
You exaggerate, mon ami. Even the best of men sometimes fail. Regard, Inspector. Here is your corpse.
They certainly did it. Thunderation!
You are shocked, monsieur?
Poirot, do you realize what's happened?
But of course, Inspector, it is not Jonathan Parrish who has been murdered, but your own faithful policeman, Sam Tremble.
Poirot, that's not very funny. You knew it all the time.
Pardon, mon ami, I knew nothing of the sort.
You distinctly told me.
No, Inspector, you told me. To me, the dead man was an unknown corpse. He could be anyone. But when you speak of two men, one a wealthy financier of international importance, the other a police officer, by employing the little gray cells, it is not difficult to conclude that a corpse with the high, large, comfortable shoes and a plain suit is the policeman.
Yeah, of course. I'm sorry.
Monsieur, there is no time now for the profuse apologies.
You're right. We've got to get to Parrish at once. Poor guy doesn't even know his bodyguard's gone.
Sound. Phone pickup.
Hello. Hello, operator. Yeah, what room is Jonathan Parrish in? Okay. 615. Hold on. Poirot, that's the room directly above this one where Tremble was killed.
Precisely.
Operator, let me talk to Mr. Parrish.
I think you will find the gentleman does not answer.
Why not?
Sound. Phone hang up.
Obviously, he would not witness a murder without reporting it. On the other hand, he too may be...
Lord Poirot, you think he's dead too? We know he received a warning from Hilary Kent.
I do not follow you, mon ami.
I don't blame you. Hilary Kent is a criminal egomaniac.
One who commits crime chiefly for the pleasure of baffling the police, eh?
Exactly. Well, this Hilary Kent, or someone who calls himself Hilary Kent, is one of those guys. He pulled off a few clever jobs, got away with them. We don't know anything about him, but whoever he is, he's got to get his thrill out of every single job. So he makes it a rule to warn his victims.
Me, I know well the type. And Monsieur Parrish, I take it, has received such a warning?
Right. So now you see why I assigned my best man.
Yeah, bien, but now we must hasten upstairs to Mr. Parrish's room. Already it may be too late.
I'll go too. I don't want to stay here with this body.
You'll stay right here, Miss Fletcher, until I give you permission.
Inspector, if you do not mind. Myself, I am not averse to Miss Fletcher's company. I find her very intriguing.
Sound. Door knock.
No answer.
But naturally, you did not expect the murderer to sit down and wait for us. You will have to employ the passkey.
Sound. Key in lock. Door opens.
Remember, Miss Fletcher, you're not to touch anything.
It's perfectly all right. I'm wearing gloves.
The inspector is thinking of fingerprints? Moi, I do not think he will find any. Monsieur Kent, or whoever this killer may be, is too clever to leave any such traces.
Well, maybe, but I want to be sure we don't lose even the tiniest clue.
An excellent approach, mon ami. There are many interesting things we may learn here about Monsieur Parrish.
He certainly gets around a lot.
Oui, the labels on his luggage are from the four corners of the earth.
Miss Fletcher, I said you're not to touch anything.
For goodness sake, it's only a book.
Books may be of great significance. Oui, this one, for example. It is no ordinary book. It is a stamp album of great value. Some of these stamps are almost without price. Very interesting. This Guatemala blue.
Put up your hands, all of you.
Oh,
Was thunderation.
Don't move. I said don't move.
Have no fear, monsieur. I will not dispute the authority of your gun.
When it comes to bright, vivid beauty, ladies and gentlemen, there are two sights that are mighty hard to beat. One is a garden of spring flowers bursting into color with daffodils, tulips, and primroses. And the other is a big shimmering mold of Jell-O in any of its 6 delicious flavors: strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, or lime. Jell-O's rich, glowing colors are so gay and inviting that they make Jell-O one of the most attractive desserts of all. There's bright golden lemon, rosy pink strawberry, clear green lime, ruby red cherry, sunny orange, and crimson raspberry, the cheeriest, most charming colors that ever delighted the eye or tempted the taste. And flavor? Say, there's just nothing more delicious than the flavor of Jell-O, a delightful flavor as refreshing as the juicy, ripe fruit itself. So enjoy Jell-O real soon. Let's say the strawberry, raspberry, or cherry flavors. All 3 have a new, improved flavor obtained by using a natural flavor base, artificially enhanced. And the result is a grand, distinctive goodness. Better than ever. Try a rich, glistening mold of Jell-O tomorrow.
Listen, mister, you can't get away with this. Put your gun down and talk fast. Who the devil are you?
But obviously, Inspector, this is the man we seek. Monsieur Jonathan Parrish.
That's just who I am. All right, speak up. Which one of you is Hillary Kent?
Hillary Kent?
Yes.
Now, wait a minute, Mr. Parrish. You got this all wrong. I'm Inspector Stevens, Homicide Squad. This is Hercule Poirot, the famous Belgian detective.
So you say. You don't look like a policeman to me, particularly that little squirt with the silly mustache.
Huh?
You stay right where you are till I check on you.
Eh bien, Monsieur Parrish, now that you are satisfied as to our identity...
Well, I've heard of you, of course. You're supposed to be the greatest French detective in the world.
Oh, always people say that about me, monsieur, but it is not entirely true. I am not French, I am Belgian.
Well, I wish you'd all get out of here and leave me alone. I'm expecting my daughter, and I don't want her running into a room full of policemen.
But, monsieur, you are in great danger. You must be protected every moment.
You offering me police protection? Huh. Not worth a hoot.
I beg your...
That's what I said. Not worth a hoot. I have protection. Some detective they assigned to me. So where is he?
He is dead.
What?
He was murdered in this very room while protecting you.
Therefore, if you do not object too violently, I shall undertake to protect you until you step aboard your airplane.
All right. All right. You stay. I don't know how long it will be. I'm just waiting for one little parcel to be delivered, and then I'm off.
Monsieur is taking with him much equipment?
Yes, quite a load. I've already sent most of it off to the airport.
Ah, bon, that is good.
Miss, don't eat that chocolate. It may be poisoned.
Oh, nonsense. This candy isn't poisoned.
I wouldn't be too sure. That box of candy supposedly came from my daughter Laura. It was delivered a little while ago.
But you suspect she did not send it?
She's supposed to come here in person. Should be here by now, in fact. Why would she send it?
You are very shrewd, mon ami.
Sound. Door opens.
Hi. Oh, excuse me.
Wait a minute, Johnny. Come back here. What do you want?
Nothing. I just wanted to see if Mr. Parrish got his extra laundry box okay.
Yes, I received it.
Okay. Excuse me.
I picked up a few more things to take along. Special dyes and inks. They'll just be about up in that laundry box. Excuse me, I've got to go into the bedroom and finish packing.
Sound. Door opens and closes.
Crusty old bird, isn't he?
Well, how would you be if you knew someone was out to kill you? No wonder he's jittery.
Ah, he is irritable and nervous. That perhaps explains it.
Explains what?
Why he wears upon his feet that unique pair of socks, one of which is green and the other brown.
All right, if a man wants to be eccentric, let him be. I've still got a murderer to catch. Now, do you want to come along?
No, Inspector, I have attached myself to Monsieur Parrish, and I propose to see that...
Sound. Door knock.
Come in.
Sound. Door opens.
Inspector, one of the men found this on the sidewalk outside the hotel. Thought you might want to take a look at it before turning it into the lost and found.
Okay, Brady, thanks.
Sound. Door closes.
Lady's purse. Usual assortment of stuff, cosmetics, perfume, change, keys. Do you make anything of it, Poirot?
Ah, sacre bleu.
What is it?
These initials, L.P. Monsieur Parrish,
Yeah,
what did you say was the name of your charming daughter?
Laura.
Good Lord. L.P. Laura Parrish.
Sound. Door opens.
Poirot, where are you going?
I have a little idea. Mademoiselle Fisher, please to accompany me?
How about Mr. Parrish? You were so attached to him.
I have become momentarily detached. I leave him in your care, Inspector. Protect him with the apple of your eye.
Sound. Footsteps.
Come. It will not be the first time you have left the elevator unattended, Monsieur Johnny. Come along.
Mr. Poirot, you're wasting your time in this basement, believe me.
Nevertheless, it interests me. Please to light the way.
There's nothing here, just a lot of ash cans.
1 moment. What is behind this door?
Well, that's the laundry bin. They keep the soiled linen in there, but you won't find anything in there.
We shall take one brief glance, eh?
Sound. Door squeaks open.
There, you see, nothing but a pile of dirty sheets and pillowcases.
Good gracious. What a laundry bill they must have.
Eh bien, let us proceed to... 1 moment.
What is it?
Sacre bleu. Protruding from under these sheets.
Holy cow!
A foot. A small foot. This is what I feared.
Look.
Ah, it moves. We are not too late. Quick, monsieur. Help me to uncover her.
That's all I know, Mr. Poirot. I was walking along the street toward the hotel. Just as I passed the alley, I was pulled in. I tried to scream, but something was pressed against my mouth.
Chloroform, Miss Parrish. Had you seen your assailant, you would have seen Hilary Kent. Alors, Miss Parrish, you are most fortunate. Another few minutes under those linens and who knows. Voila, here is the room of your father.
Sound. Door knocks. Door opens.
Inspector Stevens, here is Miss Parrish.
Well, that's a relief. Come in. I was afraid, Poirot, you turned up with a body. How'd you manage to find her?
That is not important now. We have found her, but we seem to have lost the father.
Miss Parrish, I'm sorry. Your father's terribly upset about you, but his material was delivered and he had to rush off to the airport.
No, don't tell me I missed him after all this.
Ah, ma pauvre petite, we have neglected you, huh? Miss Fletcher, your room is now free of corpses. Please take Mademoiselle Parrish downstairs and extend to her the first aid.
Come on, Laura.
Thank you.
Sound. Door opens, closes.
Inspector, I hope you do not later have cause to regret that you permitted Parrish to go off to the airport unprotected.
He'll be all right. Besides, I've got a job to do here. Although, frankly, Poirot, I'm in a complete fog. I can't make head or tail of this whole business.
No, Stevens, the head and the tail we have.
What?
Yes, it is merely a fragment of the middle that we still lack.
Well, who is it? Hey, Poirot, where are you going?
To see how Miss Parrish is and to telephone the airport to see that Mr. Parrish receives the proper attention. Au revoir.
Sound. Traffic. Horns honking. Footsteps on pavement.
Mr. Poirot, where are you taking me now? I'd like to have some...
Mr. Poirot, Mr. Poirot.
Hello, somebody calls?
Oh, it's Johnny in that parked car.
Mr. Poirot, I got a message for you from Inspector Stevens. He rushed off a minute ago.
From Stevens? What is it? What is the message?
He says he just got word that Mr. Parrish has been seriously hurt in an automobile accident on North Salem Road.
Mon Dieu, this is too much.
Yeah, you better get there as fast as you can. Here's the address.
52 North Salem Road. Monsieur, your duties for the day are over?
Yeah,
And this is your vehicle?
yeah, why?
Sound. Car door opens.
There is no time to seek a taxi, so I will impose on your kindness. Miss Fletcher, quickly, please.
Sound. Car door closes. Car starts up.
Okay, North Salem Road, right?
No, to the airport.
What?
But Mr. Parrish isn't at the airport. He's injured on North Salem Road.
No, mademoiselle. That is what I was intended to believe. Do you not think so, Johnny? He is not there, I assure you.
How do you know?
Well, North Salem Road is not on the way to the airport. It is in the opposite direction. This is merely a trick to keep us from the flying field. We must hurry there before it is too late.
Sound. Car engine accelerates. Sound. Engine running. Running footsteps.
Well, the airplane is still there, but I don't see anything amiss.
Ah, over there.
Parrish, as large as life.
Yep, that's him, all right.
Come along, please. Both of you. Monsieur Parrish.
Oh, Poirot, my daughter, is she?
She is at the hotel, monsieur, resting. She has had a small misadventure, but she is entirely safe.
Oh, thank heavens.
You are relieved, huh?
I am. I don't think I'd have gotten on that plane if you hadn't found her. Well, fortunately, I didn't have to. They've been delayed a little.
Poirot!
Inspector Stevens, I knew you would not walk into the trap.
Yeah, but as usual, you beat me to it. I was halfway out to North Salem Road before I realized what was cooking.
Eh bien, here is Monsieur Parrish, safe and sound, huh? I suggest the bomber be inspected with great care. There may be sabotage.
Good idea.
Also, have all the doors of this building guarded.
Yeah, Mr. Poirot, do I have to hang around here?
But of course, Johnny, we may require you for our return trip. Oh, Monsieur Parrish, here is your pilot to report.
We're ready now, Mr. Parrish.
Thank you. Captain, here comes my luggage. Will you see that it gets aboard?
Yes, sir.
And be especially careful of that wooden crate. Well, goodbye, Inspector. I must admit you've been extremely helpful, and I am much obliged.
Not at all. Goodbye and happy landings.
Miss Fletcher,
Goodbye, sir.
Monsieur Poirot, it's been a pleasure to know you. I'm only sorry I couldn't remain to see you break the case.
But you have, monsieur.
I beg your pardon?
The case it is broken. Inspector, meet Hilary Kent, the gentleman to whom you have just wished bon voyage.
Hilary Kent.
You're mad, Poirot.
Good Gracious, I thought he was Parrish.
And that wooden crate which I have waited so long to see, it is not to be moved, Inspector.
Why not?
Because, mon ami, it contains the body of Jonathan Parrish.
Sound, teacups and saucers clinking, sipping, crowd chatter in the restaurant.
A charming restaurant, this, n'est-ce pas? The planes circling about give one the feeling of flying, eh?
The feeling I've got, if that's what flying gives you, keep me from it.
Ah, that is natural. I too do not like murder, Miss Fletcher. Ah, Inspector Stevens, everything is taken care of?
Yes, they're taking Ken away now.
Then perhaps you will join us in a little supper.
No, thanks, Poirot. I've got to get back. I just dropped over to ask a few questions.
For example?
Well, when did you first suspect that Kent was impersonating Parrish?
Almost from the start. When we enter the room of Monsieur Parrish, what do we find? An amazing paradox. On the one hand, we have a man who is an ardent stamp collector whose album is in perfect order. Each stamp, each shade of stamp precisely in its proper place. Except the most valuable one of all, a Guatemala blue, reposing among American 3-cent stamps. Later, when I look at his socks, one green and one brown, I am certain. The man in the room is colorblind.
And therefore not Parrish, the stamp collector.
More important than that, he cannot be Parrish, the currency expert, who is to select the colors and shades of the new paper money. Therefore, if the man in the room is not Parrish, who is he?
Obviously, Hilary Kent.
Then why didn't you arrest him right away?
Because without a body, one cannot prove a murder. And I felt sure Monsieur Kent would lead me to the body.
Then you weren't guarding him, you were watching him.
Precisely.
Well, you weren't so smart. When you let him out of your sight, he might have gotten away in the plane.
Oh, not at all. When I called the airport, it was to make sure that the plane would not leave until I gave the word.
You know everything, don't you?
Some things are obvious, mademoiselle. We can suppose Hilary Kent discovers the nature of the mission Monsieur Parrish is engaged in. Ah, what a magnificent opportunity for a swindler, huh? Perhaps the greatest in history. To remove Jonathan Parrish, fly to Europe as Parrish, deliver the papers, the formulas, the dies to the proper authorities, and then, at the moment juste, counterfeit the new currency and reap a huge fortune.
Jumping codfish. The man must be mad.
Perhaps, mademoiselle, but he is also a genius. He learns that Parrish is at the Hotel Windsor in room 615. He knocks on the door. Parrish admits him and is at once strangled to death. But the body, that must be disposed of where no one will find it. There is but one thing to do. Take the body to Europe in the very packing case which stands in the room.
Then you just guessed where the body was.
No, Inspector, there was proof in the room. You remember the second laundry box which Hilary Kent asked for? This is for some special ink, he says to us, which I have only now purchased. Obviously, this is a lie. On such a mission, one does not purchase supplies at the last minute, Hence, I knew these inks and dyes have been removed from some other box or crate to make room for the body.
Gracious, it's as plain as the nose on my face. Oh, what about Laura Parrish?
Oh, I got that one figured out. She calls up and says to Kent, "Pop, I'm coming over." Of course, he can't allow that or the jig's up. So he gets down the alley and eliminates her. Right, Poirot?
Exactly. As for poor Tremble, he has been with Parrish. He knows him. When he knocks on the door and Kent appears, he demands to see Parrish. Kent kills him, and since the packing case is already occupied, drags him down to Miss Fletcher's room.
That was a big mistake. He should never have started up with me.
Excuse me for a moment. I think that's the ward wagon pulling in.
Mademoiselle, may I ask you a question of a personal nature?
Fire away.
Mademoiselle, you are not now engaged in a business enterprise?
No?
Are you fluent with shorthand and the typewriter?
Why, yes.
Bon. Mademoiselle, I find you both intelligent and amusing. A rare combination in a woman. Moreover, I am in great need of a secretary with your superb qualifications.
Why, Mr. Poirot.
Oh, you do not yet employ the little gray cells to the best advantage. Nevertheless, if you are interested...
Oh, Mr. Poirot. For 10 years, I've been devouring detective stories. And you ask me if I'm interested? Chief, you've got a secretary.
Well, Poirot, they've taken Kent away now. I guess that winds up the case.
Not quite, Inspector. Tell me, where does Monsieur Kent reside?
Well, we found a lease on him for an apartment in Gramercy Park.
That is a good neighborhood.
Oh, swell. Right in the heart of the city. But why do you ask?
I do not think Monsieur Kent will need an apartment for some time. But I do. You see, my friends, it is as I said. To find an apartment in New York City is the essence of simplicity. One only has to solve 2 murders.
Music for tonight's show was provided by Heather Edwards. Sound effects were provided by DeLisa White. In the cast were yours truly, Steve Viola, Michael Johnson, Kay Koch, Bob Rutan, Rebecca Rowe, and Alan Dolderer as Hercule Poirot. Join us next time when Hercule Poirot tackles the case of the corpse wore plaid with stripes. This is the W.W.O.W Radio Network. Good night, America. Bye-bye and bye,
Bye,
bonds.
bonds.
So long, everybody. We're off the air.
Good
Little broken-hearted Sammy, sitting on his daddy's knee, listening to the radio, but his heart was aching so. It seems the angel took his mammy, and he wondered why he sighed, while his daddy fell asleep. Sammy then did creep to the radio and cried, Mr. Radio Man, tell my mama to come back home. Won't you do what you can? 'Cause I'm so lonely. I've been listening in every day,